AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Charles Oakley now believes, all that aside, Unc definitely supposed to be at the games. The Garden misses Oak. I'll leave it at that. Let's see what he had to say about being at the Garden.
I went for 10 years. At least, I mean, if I'm your road dog, I'm your you A, I'm the B, you got to speak up for me. He haven't spoke up yet, so I'm gonna let it just play out. I would love to be there. I know the fans would love me to be there. I love the fans. They gave me a lot of cheer over the years, but it all started from the commission, the owner, and all the other owners in the NBA, because he making it bad for all the teams in the league. But something like this be going on for 8 years.
I got you on that, and it's interesting too because you said Patrick. What can Pat do in his situation? What is he not doing that's not helping the situation?
By being there, number one. Number two, he should have called me and talked to me like a man when this happened. Never done that. I have Reggie Miller, Brad Daugherty, MJ, all the other guys I went to war with, they spoke up. But the guys I played with, but, you know, it just, I mean, I guess to go with his style of life, you know, never been, like I said, he never been a guy who really, when we was down and out in the situation, in course, with a playoff game, regular season game, you know, never stepped up. So maybe I shouldn't be expecting him to step up so much now. And that's what's wrong with a lot of guys. Use your voice. Don't let the dollar control you.
You're gonna get a fresh reaction. That's the first time I seen that shit. I'm gonna let you intro. That is the first. I mean, cause no.
We're gonna do it again.
Big Flea, the biggest y'all. Undisclosed area right now. The biggest y'all.
The reason why I even saw that video was because shout out to Tommy Beer. Love all of his stats. If you're on Twitter, check him out. He always got some new stats. Diehard Knicks fan. He said, nah, F that. Forget all the Dolan. Man, nah, fuck that. Forget all the Dolan stuff. Oak should not be allowed to set foot inside MSG until he issues a loud public apology to Patrick for all the shit he's talked over the years. Bash Pat and now wants Ewing to help him out. Come on, bro.
That whole clip that you just played was very cringy. I was sitting here like, when is he gonna press pause and stop this shit? That's embarrassing for Oak. I'm gonna be honest.
I wanted to read the whole thing.
And you only did that because he's sitting with one of your favorite players. I know the things that you do. I know the things that you do.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I forgot that he was with Jim Jackson. Jim Jackson was like one of my first favorite players of all time. Charles Oakley, what I tweeted back out was, yo, man, you're not for nothing. If you want to say Patrick Ewing was acting like a bitch in crunch time in the 90s, all right, cool, bro. But you've been calling Patrick Ewing a bitch for 30 years now. And if you saying this publicly, who knows what you were saying behind his back? And if he didn't show up back then, that's what you expect now. Yo, you are so sassy, bro. I don't care who you can knock out. I don't care who you slap. You can fuck me up and all that, Oakley. I really don't give a fuck, man. Enough is enough. Now all of a sudden you want to go back in the building? You want to go back in the Garden? Because we popping now, right? Because we hot now. Because if we were garbage, you wouldn't give a fuck about all that.
Get him, Ray.
Yo, get off, yo, Oak. Get off our dick, bro. How about
Get him, Ray! Get him, Ray!
Fuck Charles Oakley. Straight up and down. What would your career be if Patrick Ewing wasn't around? Talking shit about Patrick Ewing. Enough is enough.
Get him, Ray.
Enough is enough. Yo, Oak, go do your thing. Do whatever it is that you do. I'm definitely hiring security if you in the building, even if you're 80 years old. But get the fuck out of here already, bro.
Nah, for real.
Like, how many? It's been 30 years and you've been calling him a straight up bitch the entire time. So you want him to call Dolan for what? You got locked up in the Garden. What you got locked up for? He said, don't come to the Garden. I don't know your situation. Nobody knows your situation. But you go on Jim Jackson show and do all that shit. What do you want Patrick Ewing to do? He's in the building, bro.
And they just re-ingratiated Patrick Ewing back in the Garden. Y'all ain't seen Patrick Ewing in the Garden celebrated like this in almost 20 years. This is not something that's been going on. And Patrick, they just brought Patrick back. Patrick ain't been around coaching at Georgetown, coaching when he was coaching in the NBA. The Knicks didn't bring him back. So Oakley, shut the fuck up. He hasn't been around schmoozing with these niggas and didn't do you a solid. They just let him back in the building to show him some love.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is because he smacked Charles Barkley and all that. All right, cool. We heard the stories, bro. You smacked this other dude, owed you bread. All right, you a gangster. Okay, you tough. You tough. So if you so tough, go handle your business. Go sit down with Dolan like a man. Yo, I don't know what happened, but I think it's a good thing for all of us if I sit down in the front court. You ain't gotta apologize. I ain't gotta apologize. Let bygones be bygones. Be a man, bro. How about that? You want to call this man a bitch? What you going to do after you called him a bitch again and you got to sit down next to him in the front row at Celebrity Row and he got to keep it cool as usual because you be talking all tough all the time and nobody gives a fuck. You got a whole head full of gray hair and you still talking tough. So somebody clap your ass. That's why they beat your ass in Vegas. You couldn't walk for 3 months, whatever it was. Dog, when we going to let up? I hate this shit. I don't like it. Let the tough act go, man. Let the tough act go. I wish Mace was still alive so we could talk to him. Yo, bro, God bless the dead, by the way. Yo, bro, go talk to your man. Who cares? Who cares? You're going to beat everybody up who's scared of you because the ones who ain't scared of you, they don't care. James Dolan ain't scared of you. Guess what? He got 10 dudes to get you up out of there. That's what he does. And all these guys signed up to go get money. And we can't say Patrick Ewing's a bandwagon guy. He beefed with Dolan and came back over there.
That's what I'm saying. They wasn't
your whole career, your legacy, Oakley, is based on being a Knick. And the only reason why that shit is relevant is because of Patrick Ewing. Enough is enough with the bullshit. Going back to RP's point. Fuck out of here with this motherfucker, bro.
Smoke that. I thought you could have gave him a little more, but you smoked that. We did. Sorry. And Oak deserved that, to be honest. Oak really deserved that. Oak is being set. You call that sass. That's sass.
It's very sassy. Why are we wilding on Oakley over a misunderstanding? How do you know? Regardless if it's a misunderstanding or not, guess who's begging to go back in the building over getting manhandled? Your beef ain't with Patrick Ewing. Your beef is the dude who got you kicked out. Hey, that's my problem. You want back in to this fucking spot that you got kicked out of for whatever reason, and you begging to come in here on the low because you dick riding us. That's what it is. Back the glory days are back. Brunson brought it back. You were dick riding LeBron when he was in Cleveland, like, yo, that's why I'm not gonna go to the Knicks because he kicked you out of there. Ha ha ha. I remember all your interviews, bro.
I remember that shit.
Fuck out of here. Well, I don't care what size you are. If you a dick rider, that's my biggest thing. Men are bigger groupies than women.
For sure.
Bigger groupies, and it's shit like this. Shit like this. Yo, bro, man up, bro. Because Ewing wouldn't talk to you like that. I'm telling you, I would talk to you like that, and I would run for my life. Fuck Charles Oakley, bro.
Charles Oakley is over 60 now. Like we could kill the tough act too. He's not going around smacking nothing now. He did all his smacking 20, 30 years ago. He ain't smacking shit now. Let's slow down. We love Oak, but no. If we had to have a conversation like this, we should be able to have a conversation like this and not worry about if he want to get physical. I would not be worried about no nigga, no senior citizen trying to get crazy. Sit down and relax.
We're gonna need some guys around us.
Tough guy act is over. Flea's here.
I'm definitely talking shit with Flea in the building. Yo, Flea, fuck.
Like, who the hell am I, right? Shit. Get your head knocked off like the rest of them, Flea. Crazy.
Fuck him. Well, listen, man. Just if we talking like this, because he don't understand any other kind of talk. So talk like this. It doesn't matter who's scared of you. You're begging to come back in the building. That's the owner. Go talk to him. Go holler at him like a man. That's it. That's it. Stop acting like you're not trying to be in the building. That's it. You know what it is. It's New York. You know ain't nothing like this thing over here when we're up on fire. He knows that. And now you want back in after you said, nah, I ain't never going back in there. You have like 4 or 5 iterations of this. You probably bumped your head too many times, bro. Yo, I just can't. I can't stand people who don't stand on like whatever they said. And if you backtracked on it, yo, that's on you and that guy. Patrick Ewing had his own beef and settled his own beef. Why don't you settle your own shit? Let me call this guy all kind of bitches for that.
The nigga got let back in the club, right? Because he was like silently banned too, but it was never talked about. They never brought Patrick back to coach. They never brought Patrick back to celebrate him after retiring his jersey, ever. He was never there. They never had him on the Jumbotron to show love, one of the greatest Knicks of all time, this, that. They never did that for him. So now he's back in the spot. You've been talking shit about me for the last 30 years, 25 years. I get back in the spot, and now I'm supposed to advocate for you after you've been talking shit about me for however long. Make that make sense. He said, Jim Jackson asked him, how was Patrick fucking up? I'm paraphrasing now. He said, by being there. By being there? By being there. So now I'm not supposed to go because they didn't let you back in the building.
Right. So now we're a team again. I ain't get the memo because you've been shitting on me for the last 25 years. I ain't get the memo about us being that cool. I gotta fight for you no matter what. The hell I gotta do with anything, man? Okay, he wasn't in the foxhole, whatever. And what should I expect from him? Whatever. So you expect to motivate him to help you out by shitting on him. Because look, we shit on Patrick Ewing enough. We already know about his legacy. You ain't got to tell us anymore. And I get it. If you want to be honest about that, be honest about that. But that has nothing to do with your monkey ass getting into some stupid shit with James Dolan, regardless of whose fault it is. That's on you to go settle that as an adult, as just man to man.
Let me ask you a question. In the history of the NBA, 75 years and counting, over 5,000 players have played in the NBA.
Right.
We can count one person who has been dragged out as a former player by security. We can count one out of 5,000 plus in a 75-year span, 75 plus year span. Put that together. Fabian, put that together, bro.
Well,
one man, one guy.
So what's the question? Because I didn't hear the question.
There was no question. Just as a fleet statement. There's one man that got dragged out the spot out of a 75 plus year history of the NBA. Mind you, there's 30 teams.
I think
Charles Oakley, shut the fuck up.
But I can look at that two ways. We don't know what happened.
You know 1,000%. I'm not saying we do. What I am saying though is that happened to him and only him, and that hasn't happened to anybody else. And if it's happened to somebody else, I love to stand corrected.
Sprewell coached James Dolan out the fuck out at half court when he was on the Timberwolves when he came back to the Garden, and they made up. And Sprewell was not somebody. Yes, he needs the money and all that, but maybe Oakley needs
my
the money.
family. What did he say? What did he say, right? What was the quote? We gotta find that quote one day. What did he? What's Free said?
I think that's a part of it because they know how to probably make money off this thing better than we all could ever find out, being from the outside looking in. And Sprewell and these dudes, that's a check at the end of the day. He wrote a book. His book was, I read Charles Oakley's book. I liked it.
I have
some of it, but it was mostly Michael and me. It was mostly that, and they took out a lot. I seen Frank Isola. Shout out to me and my brother. We seen Frank Isola at the Barclays Center. And I asked him, I just read your book. It was mostly Michael Jordan and Oakley though. Like, what's up with that? He's like, yeah, we have to take a lot of stuff out. Is that in the third? You know, with Michael Jordan's gonna get more publicity. I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather have read more about Oakley and his more so in depth with his journey and whatever. So there were a lot of things that he had to take out of that book. And he seems to be a straight shooter. And maybe that's part of his problem here. It's like you got to filter some of these thoughts. Maybe that's why you can't sit down with Dolan, because you just saying like maybe you mean to get this done and negotiate something with him, but you're so you got all these thoughts that probably drive you so crazy. You bound to just say some foul shit about Dolan in front of his face. He's gonna be like, yo, I thought we were here for an apology or here to just settle this shit, man. Like, what you bringing all that old shit up for? Nobody cares. Go sit down and enjoy the game, Charles.
Bro, Dolan is so nasty, but he's smearing it in his face now because now Tim Thomas is showing up. Chris Dudley, Kurt Thomas, Raymond Felton. Like, love all the guys I just named, but those are not like Knick legends. Those are fan favorites. You feel what I'm saying? It's a little different. Those are fan favorites, and he's bringing all these niggas back. All these stars. Marbury is running around on the sidelines.
Hold on. That's why he's mad. That's why he's mad, because he sees Marbury and Starks going crazy out of bounds. Like you see them on camera. No, we don't see that at any game anywhere.
Nowhere.
He's probably seen him like, yo, hold on, they're having fun over there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Larry
We all
Johnson, Marcus Camby, Spree. Obviously, Allen Houston is still a part of the organization. But there's so many guys. Like I said, I was laughing my ass. JR.
Yo, why would John Smith write this brief newspaper article on February 8th, 2017? Oakley intended to see a Knicks game at MSG, but it was not to be. Instead, he was ejected and arrested.
Big shout out to John Smith.
Hold on, what? I'm sorry, you rat bastard, bitch. Oakley probably.
That nigga off is stupid.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.